What's up, team? So I've had so many people that I've worked with who haven't been able to breathe properly. I say take a deep breath instead of filling up the belly. Breathing properly means you're using your entire diaphragm, increasing your lung capacity so that you can perform more efficiently, so that you can work harder in the gym, so that you can feel energized and vibrant. That's why I'm going to talk to you about this book, Breath by James Nestor, The New Science of a Lost Art. Now there's a lot to this book, and I'm not going to talk to you about everything, but I'm going to give you some of the key points and some of the things that you really need to hear. What I love about James Nestor is he found a solution to his own problems, his asthma, his slack jaw, his sinus infections, his allergy problems, his sleep apnea, all caused by his mouth breathing, his habit of mouth breathing. If he could fix his breath, he could change his life. So James Nestor and his buddy does this experiment where he only breathes through his nose for like 10 to 20 days. Then they only mouth breathe where they clog up their nostrils for the next 10 to 20 days. They're collecting all the data, their vitals, how they're sleeping, how they're performing in the gym. So blood pressure, resting heart rate, oxygen levels. They're collecting everything. And the results were astonishing. He found that his sleep quality, he had 25 sleep apnea events, which means you're choking severely on yourself basically. Whereas oxygen levels would drop to 85%, below 90% for a given period of time. This can cause depression, anxiety, memory loss. It's ultimately killing you. He was snoring 4,280% more when he was a mouth breather. Now it sounds like common sense, but if you go to sleep and you wake up with a super dry mouth, you're mouth breathing overnight. You're not getting the best quality of sleep that you can possibly get. What he found was the worst part is how he felt. He felt like he was on the verge of a sinus infection the entire 10 days. And it wasn't only him. His buddies' results were the exact same. He couldn't perform in the gym. When he was nose breathing though, he could perform better. He could think clearer. He removed the brain fog. I know a few of my clients over time who've had asthma. We work on nose breathing, the proper way to breathe, breathing all the way into our belly. Slowly, slow breaths. Starting to exercise and starting to breathe properly will completely reduce that asthma. How much you have to use your inhaler. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but you work on it yourself. And I bet you it will improve your health. How much you need that inhaler, your stress levels. Because when you are mouth breathing, the blood pressure goes up. Your heart rate variability decreases, meaning you're definitely in a stressful state. Not only does mouth breathing change you from a physiological level, it changes you physically. Your mouth starts to droop, you got bags under your eyes. You don't have that strong jawline. Your nasal airways or your cavities literally collapse. So you can't get as deep of a breath. So you might not like the sound of this study. James Nestor says he's not a big fan of this study either, but they clogged up the noses of monkeys in this research study. After about a year, all the monkeys didn't even look like monkeys anymore. Their faces were so deformed. They were unhealthy. But the great news is, before you get all sad, is that after 6 months of taking the plugs out of their nose and they started breathing normally again, they started looking like monkeys. They returned to their normal face and their normal features. So you can get that strong jawline. You can open up your airways if you start nasal breathing. There was also a study done on this little girl who was having all these complications with her allergies, with her asthma. The doctor took her in. He calls her Gigi in the book. After 6 months of these breathing techniques, of learning how to breathe properly, her face started to reform. She looked healthier. She didn't have the bags under her eyes. She had more energy. She was playful again. She was able to do all those things that she used to do all the time. The life was back in her. And yeah, on a conscious level, you're going to have to force your subconscious mind to learn how to naturally do this. So you might have to think about it for a few months until it becomes natural again. But your body will like this, the new oxygen level, the new lung capacity, the nitric oxide that it's releasing. Your body will start to love this and you will just start to do it. It's like when you start eating the avocados. When you start eating the avocados, your body loves them, so you go back to them for more and more and more. You don't like them right now, but after you start to eat them, you get the magnesium, the potassium. You get all the antioxidants from that superfood, avocados, the blueberries. And you go back for more because your body knows it's doing something healthy and vibrant for your life. Even the Native Americans believed in nose breathing. They said it was the cause of straight teeth. And mouth breathing zapped your body of energy, of strength. And another one, the ancient Chinese, in the Tao, they said that the mouth breathing is extremely harmful. Nose breathing though, when the breath is perfect, the body is perfect. Nose breathing is so important because it not only cleans the air, it heats it, it regulates it so that our body can absorb that oxygen better. Throughout the day, periodically, you shift from right nostril breathing to left nostril breathing. Why is that? The right activates the sympathetic nervous system. So that when we need to get our blood pressure up, when we need a little bit of adrenaline, some energy, some focus. And then our left nostril to relax, to calm us. Our body should be shifting through both of these periodically. Now he says it aligns us with the universe. The left nostril activates the parasympathetic nervous system. The rest, the relaxation, lowering of the blood pressure. This is how we reduce our anxiety. Sometimes we need that stress to go up. Sometimes we need it to relax. Activate some imagination, some action, some calm, some storm. There's a technique that you can use, alternating which nostril you're using to breathe in through and out through. I'm not going to be that awkward person doing some weird breathing techniques with you today. No, that's not me. I just want you to know the importance of breathing properly. Another important part that he talks about in this book, we need to slow our breaths down. We don't need to be breathing heavy all the time. We want to breathe slow. When we're breathing slow, we're not going to be so reactive, so anxious, so stressed out all the time. Because our mind and body are working coherently, together, in unison. So that we can think logically, but also believe in possibilities. This helps us make right decisions. This helps us perform in the gym. This slow breathing helps build up our lung capacity. And there was a study done with 5,200 test subjects that proved that the larger your lung capacity usually equals longer lives. So our ability to breathe is our ability to live. Now in this book, James talks about several studies where there's emphysema patients recovering, able to walk and talk again, to sing again, all through breathing slower. There was a patient with scoliosis who literally increased her lung capacity, did a few breathing techniques on her sides, flipping over, stretching, moving around, taking deep breaths in different positions, and she straightened up her spine. It's incredible. Her name was Katharina Scroth, and then she ends up going around teaching this to other people. I'm only telling you this because I want you to really know what all your breath can do and is capable of. So the same gentleman who helped with the emphysema patients helped train Olympic runners, helped train singers so that they could hold their notes. The runners, the swimmers, they started winning medal after medal after medal because they were able to tolerate more lactic acid buildup. Their muscles weren't getting that pain, the weakness, causing you to slow down or to stop because they were slowing their breath down. They were increasing the nitric oxide in their body, increasing circulation, growing their blood vessels so that they can get more oxygen-rich blood to hungry cells. So take this with you to the gym. That was crazy. They're blowing stuff up out there. I think they're building a warehouse across from my house. Who knows? But take this with you to the gym. If you're breathing in through your nose, out through your nose, if you're breathing less, your muscles will start adapting and be able to tolerate more lactate accumulation so that you can train longer and harder, stronger, faster, bigger. Breathing slowly literally restores your health. Heavy breathing actually reduces the blood flow to your body, to your muscles. We hear a lot about oxygen, but carbon dioxide is just as essential. We have about 100 times more carbon dioxide in our body than we do oxygen. And we actually need more of it. That's why slowing down our breath allows us to be able to maintain higher levels of CO2 in our body. It dilates our blood vessels so that we can carry more oxygen-rich blood to the hungry cells. This just means that we're going to be able to produce more energy more efficiently. We're getting more out of each breath. And if you want to talk about weight loss, for every 10 pounds of fat that we lose, about 8.5 of it comes from our lungs through carbon dioxide and water vapor. If you want to talk about the perfect rhythm for breathing, it's actually 5.5 inhale, 5.5 seconds exhale for about 5.5 breaths per minute. That's pretty incredible. This is the perfect rhythm that actually increases blood flow to the brain, increases blood flow to our muscles, to our organs. This will put you into that calm state. This will reduce the anxiety, reduce the stress, improve your immune functions. And it's similar to any prayer, any meditation that you hear of. It all comes down to about 5 to 6 seconds. So some things you can do to be a nose breather. One, you can just tape your mouth shut when you're watching TV. You might feel claustrophobic at first. The first night you get 2 minutes. Next night you get 5 minutes. Now it's 10 minutes. Now you can sleep with it on. Now if that's a little too weird for you, I get it. Maybe you just are consciously focusing on nose breathing throughout the day because you know the benefits. And I'm only talking to you about this now because it can lead to chronic inflammation, chronic fatigue, heart failure, and so much more. We're trying to live healthy, vibrant lives, so we have to focus on these little habits that can improve our health. And if you consciously focus on this for a little while, it will become a subconscious thing. You won't have to think about it anymore. We take about 20,000 breaths a day. You don't think about it right now. When you go for your walks, when you go for your runs, see how long you can go without breathing through your mouth. See if you can exhale longer than you can inhale. Slow that breathing down. You can really supercharge your life by breathing properly. And James Nestor, he talks about it greatly in this book. There's so much more to this book. There's so much other things that I could talk about. But I just want to give you the main takeaways that you need to focus on. Remember, I'm just here to ignite your passion. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for me, hit that like button, and share with a friend. Peace and one love always.